Hi guys, John and Brooklyn back at KC Farm. Is spring really here? I'm not sure, but we don't want to jinx it. But our pigs are getting hot. Most of you guys know that pigs do not sweat, so that's why a lot of them wallow. So we have a couple things to help you to keep your pigs cool. Let's check them out. All right, the first option we have down here at Kevin and Chubb's, obviously they are in the middle of a field. Our pigs down there in the woods, they are good. We just have to check their waters more often than not. So what we do for these guys in the field
is we use a shade cloth.
Okay, we found these on Amazon. My wife is great at finding deals, and these were the cheapest ones we could find. I believe they're like 10 by 30 maybe. And we'll put a link to those down in the description. But we just use the shade cloth and 4 posts. So let's get those knocked in so we can get these guys some shade. All right, I'm gonna show you what we use to hold these corners up. And when we first started, we used to use those bungees, and I had to wrap duct tape around because every time the wind would blow, they'd cut through the bungees, and so we kept trying those, and those were a waste even with the duct tape. So here's what we do now. I'll have Brooklyn hold this, even though she's working. But we use this wire. Can you see it in here, Brooke? So we just take a piece of wire. Sometimes we double it up. Sometimes we don't. And we'll go through the grommets on here. I'll double this one up. And you just take it through the grommet. And we just wrap it around. Can you see that all right? Okay. Just wrap it around. And then just wrap that metal around so it keeps it nice and tight. So that is how we put those on. And then the obviously the metal's not gonna rip. The shade cloth is pretty good. So that is what we use when we're in the middle of the field and the pigs don't have much shade. When we bought the property, all it was an empty field. We got some fruit trees and we've planted some other trees, but obviously that's gonna take a while. So that's one way. Let's see where Kevin and Chubbs are. They're in the only shade spot available right now. So we always have to check waters extra when it starts getting warm. Now they've got a shade cloth, and we need to go over and get, who's over there? Boudreaux and Cupcake a shade cloth. Like we said, the meat herd is good down there in the woods. We just need to check their water extra. I can see them all laid out in the shade there. But that's one thing we do. And then we're gonna show you the other thing we do here in just a minute. Let's go get them. All right, this is the other thing we do for our pigs once the weather gets hot. And it is these little tykes or step 1 sandboxes or pools. And these are way better than the little pools they have sitting outside of Walmart because they don't really crush the sides. The only problem is our bigger pigs can't really fit in these. So we're gonna put this one in. We have some of the bigger red ones. I think those are actually sandboxes that do work for one pig, so they have to share. But a lot of times they'll make a little wallow, but we don't keep them in the same spot long enough. So that really doesn't help. So let's get this filled up. And during the main heat in the summer, we usually try to get them up along the tree lines. As we go back along our property, there's trees all the way there. So we get them up under those trees so there is some more shade. But let's get this pool filled up and enjoy some piggies in the pool. guys have never had the pool before, so they're not too sure what to do, but you can see our little boar over there who's going to a new home soon. He already knows what to do with the water. Let's see if Big Mac checks it out. Sure, you guys, there you go. Chloe wants to see.
She's too small to get over the edge.
Yeah. Who's gonna be the first one?
Hop in there, Chloe.
Is it gonna be you, Willow? Here comes the diver. Let's see what he does. Well, I guess they're not gonna jump in the pool for you, but they have it. We'll still probably put a shade cloth over this because it does get hot, even if they're in the water. So we've got the shade cloths. We've got the small little pools. We have shade in the trees, but you have to make sure there's a way they can get cooled down. Before we brought the pool over, they were in their house, which we have a good breeze today. So obviously they have shade in their house and there's a pretty good breeze going through here as well. So just a couple ways to help your pigs get cooled down. We'll run over here and we'll check on the forest pigs and see and just make sure they have enough water. We also got to get other shade cloths out, but since we showed you one, we don't need to show you them all. Let's go check our forest pigs out. All right, these guys down here have been doing an awesome job. Chickens have been getting out here and there. They're only on that 2-foot electric fence, so we're not surprised when they get out. They always go back up at night. So you can tell definitely it is much cooler. Well, you might not be able to tell, but it is much cooler down here in the shade. So we don't need to get a shade cloth for these guys. Just want to check out their waters. We've got 7 total pigs in here, and they all go up into the pigloo at night. How you doing? So yeah, we need some water. There's a little bit of water in there, but just wanted to show you how they're clearing out. And the most area they clear out that we're finding is around their feed bowls. So this has been really nice. So tonight we'll probably move feed bowls and start moving them over here and having these guys start clearing out farther up in the brush here. So doing a great job of clearing out. Hey, Millie. Penny. They're doing a great job of clearing things out for us. And you come in here and there's pigs everywhere on you. So we'll get them some fresh water. So a couple tips. Shade cloths if you don't have shade. Kiddie pools are the sandboxes that they like to get in. And you need to check the water a little more often when it starts getting hot out in the summer. So you want to keep these guys hydrated and as cool as you can. So just a couple tips there for new pig people. Should we go over and check and see if they've ventured into the pool yet?
Yeah.
All right, I'll get these guys water and we'll go see if those guys have found out the pool yet. Well, I figured we needed to check back here on Sassy and Mo first. And they needed water as well, but you see they have some shade up in here. And they have a pretty nice area. We have not seen anybody breeding yet, but it's only been about 3 days since we moved them in here. I just want to talk for a minute. Some people ask why we don't use the nipples on like a 50-gallon drum, and that would be easier, yes. But for us, as much as we move them, it's hard to move those 50-gallon drums full of water. So for us, it's just easier to fill these up and check on them a couple times a day. So that's why we don't use the pig nipples. But if you have more permanent pasture, I would definitely use a pig nipple with the 50-gallon water. It's a lot less work you have to do if you have that set up. So, but for now, we're just filling up water pans and putting out pools. All right, now we'll head up, see if the other pigs have found the joy of a pool yet. Okay, well, we found a little bit of the joys of the pool. Some of them are still a little hesitant to go in, but Chloe's made it in. She's kind of our adventurous little pig. She's the smallest one of the bunch, but she's enjoying it already. We're still gonna put a shade cloth out here and get them a little shade. Oh, Big Mac wanted to, but he didn't want to. So just some tips there, guys, for you if as this warm weather starts to come up on us. The two boys down there are underneath the shade cloth already, so that's working out well. Big Mac's just going to use the water dish, but if they tip all that out and we're not around, at least they still do have water that they can get to. So appreciate you guys following along. Hope these summer tips help you guys out. If you haven't already,
Make sure you like, subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and also Facebook.
all right, see you on the next video.